Or is it Autumn Park tonight? Yeah.
Yes.
Autumn Park in the wet. Ha ha!
Thunderstorms.
Get on.
I've already done testing in it. There are some fucking big puddles. Fucking massive. I have a setup that works, so I'm happy. Because I did the same lap times that Amazing Pipeboy and Kurt were doing, so I'm quite happy. But I guarantee fucking John Boy has got something up his fucking sleeve somehow.
Well, you know what you got to do, Dan, don't you? Drive better.
Well, luckily I'm further ahead in the grid, so I should be able to...
You're 6th, yeah.
Yeah, I'm near the front. Oh, Dad, we've also got some of the Tier 2 guys racing in Tier 1.
Right.
So, you know,
Who's that then?
Cobb, Kurt, and Amazing Playboy.
Right. Kurt,
Just because we didn't have many racing in Tier 1, do we? So...
Andy and Jay are racing and Lewis Rocker.
Yeah, so we've invited
Right, so
them
Cobb,
to go.
Kurt, and Amazing are in.
They'll
Mervyn.
be, they'll be racing the Tier 1 guys just for tonight, am I right?
Okay. And Andy and WRCJ can't make it.
Lewis Rocker.
And Lewis Rocker, right.
They're not here.
Jay and the House Rocker.
Martin! He's doing a dad, trying to figure out how to work his headset. I can already feel Laney's anger in the wet conditions.
Finally. Finally, my headset. Hey, Kelly, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good man.
Buddy!
Hey, I can only do I think G's probably told you, I can only do the sprint because I've got to work. Unfortunately, my call's not until 9:30, so I can... No, we've got Green Pies doing the feature, is that right? 'Cause, yeah.
Okay.
Three's too many. You got it covered, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Kelly. I'll definitely be on all next week. Yeah, fucking work.
It's alright, next week's going to be an exciting one.
It's the last one, is it? Isn't it?
Yeah, Silverstone National, so tow racing.
Definitely, I am definitely, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
How easy do you get excited?
Oh, mate, I'm easy to please, mate. Easy to please.
That's what we heard.
Yeah. I'm putting that in the diary right now. Yeah. Well, wait till you see me for a BM, mate. That'll be something special. I'm putting it in the diary now. So 27th of April, boom. No friggin' interruptions from work. Thank you very much. I will be there with a beer as well.
Excellent.
Fucking hell, this is getting to be fun. Also, the Tier 2 guys will be starting at the back of the grid for the reverse grid. Yep. Amazing Pie Boy. Yep. Yep. Kurt's not here yet, no.
So these were the top three as they finished in the last race, or
No, in the championship.
Oh, championship, right, with you. Okay, yep.
Yeah, I got the grid order.
They get the invitation, and those three will be starting at the back of the grid, just kind of to stay out of the way of the kind of the championship, but still be involved.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, mate, this is going to be hard work.
Oh, stop tripping on about it and just drive.
I'm excited about it. It's wet.
Good. Stop going on then. Oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be so difficult. Just drive that fucking car.
I'm going to beat Laney.
Are you?
Yeah, because he hates
We'll see
the wet
about
conditions.
Yeah, I can't stand it. This is G's going to friggin' run away with this. 72 points ahead in the lead.
Oh, the points, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can win it
It's tight,
in this race.
it's tight track as well, isn't it? It's tight track, wet race. Yeah, might be a bit of possession.
So what was the point of the excitement about next week then? I thought you said it was really tight at the beginning. G.
Oh no, it's going to be tight racing. It's going to be very, very.
Oh, tight racing. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
It's going to be like Monza Short and like Red Bull National. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Nice start.
Awesome. Right, I'm going to go into game chat. Good luck, boys.
Righto.
Yeah,
Have a good one, Dan.
You'll let us know when we're live, G. Yeah.
Kelly, Green Pies has got a new name for you.
Go on.
Dinosaur.
Right, that's it. It'll stick as Gillian then. He wants to play that game. I'm good at that game.
Yeah. Oh, I love this track. This is my favourite track.
Really? I can't stand it.
I love
it to drive.
The two chicanes are wicked.
Really?
That's lovely.
Yeah. As I say, I think it's narrow and yeah, horrible personally. But
it just makes for close, exciting racing. Personally.
Yeah, but it's very little overtaking opportunities, is there? You know, that's the problem.
There is. There's a few because quite a few people make mistakes. Though, you know, it's just the way it is. Rainy.
Very much so. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the Silent X Energy Clio Cup here on Motive Racing. Welcome along, hope you're in good spirits this evening. My name's Kelly Davis, I'm one of your commentators this evening. The other one that's joined me in the commentary box is my Prolapse teammate, current Motive touring car champion, all-round nice guy, Martin Story, aka X-Mart. Good evening.
Oh, that was a lovely intro. Good evening, Kelly.
Wasn't that nice of me?
It's so nice. We've got to look after each other in our old age now, haven't we?
We have, mate. Yeah. Now that we're both in the twilight years, you know. Well, no, exactly. Not quite twilight years, but you know, certainly more behind than there is in front, and all that. But how are you keeping? How are you keeping, Mark? You all right?
Yeah, I'm well, mate. I'm just so the viewers know. I know you're aware of this. I'll just be with you for the sprint. I've got to unfortunately go and do some work. Late night, burning the midnight oil tonight, but I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. The sun's shining, the weather's getting better, the pubs are open, and we're getting towards the end of season 7. So exciting, you know, in many championships, not just Clio's but all the others. So
absolutely,
penultimate round. This is, isn't it? Before we head over to the brands next week.
To Silverstone next week.
Silverstone, sorry.
You're thinking about touring car. That's at Brands for the last one. And you mentioned the sun is shining. It certainly isn't at Alton Park. It is tipping down with rain. Absolutely persistent down, as we saw someone in the background go off. They've just had it just the same for the tier 2s. You had Green Pies and Unorthodox doing a great job of commentary there, but now the little boys have gone and the grown-ups are here. We're going to have a much more sensible commentary for this one. So he says, Mark. Probably less grown up than they are.
We'll show. There goes Simon's there. Laney's gone off for a bit of practice. Yeah, we show these young ones out to party, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
it's very wet, as you say.
Yeah, it's very wet. It's going to be very tricky for these drivers this evening. That's for certain sure. The Clio's not the greatest thing handling to start with. So in the wet, it's going to be an absolute handful this evening. As we see Nick De Villa there going very nice, sideways.
Control there, wasn't it? Nice control around there, bless him.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of guests in this evening. A couple of guys who couldn't make it, so we've taken a couple of guests in the shape of Cobb. Amazing Pie Boy, and Kurt V. Kurt V, just off the back of the win, I believe he won the Tier 2 race just a few moments ago, so he knows the conditions, and he knows what he's up against. So those three guys are guest appearances coming up from Tier 2 to get a feel of what it's like in Tier 1 as we go on to the next season. So and we're missing a couple as well. So we're missing Andy this evening, WRCJ, and we are missing the House Rocker as well this evening. For whatever reasons, they can't make it tonight. So I feel like I've called the register. And of course, the format for this evening, normal motive format. This is a practice session at the moment. This has no bearing on the racing whatsoever. This is purely a practice session for the guys to get their eye in and feel what the conditions are like. We will be having a sprint race, 25-minute sprint race, which will work in reverse grid order of the championship. Our guests, in the shape of Kurt, Cobb and Amazing, will all start at the back, so they will not get involved in the initial championship battle, because we do have a championship battle, although the only G is well out in front in that battle. After that, we will have a 15-minute qualifying and the feature race with a pit stop. So that's your evening this evening. Lots of great races to look forward to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I mean, this is chucking it down here. So it's not on light rain, it's on heavy rain. So there'll be some collection of puddles you can just see there on the inside of that corner, which sometimes you do need to come in tight, but they're going to have to adjust their driving positions so that they don't get themselves stuck in that puddle, because it does unseat you as you go into those tight corners. But it's really interesting to see how people will take the lines on this, which will be slightly different to the dry racing. There's another puddle there. On this corner is a bit tricky. I always find it a bit challenging when you're coming into it flat out and maybe coming down to typically down to fourth in the dry. I would suggest they're probably going down to third in the wet. So yeah, we were talking earlier, weren't we? I love this track. I know you're not a massive fan, as you said, but well, I love it.
Yeah, I say I'm not a massive fan. I'm not to drive. Again, this is one of the ones that the British track, obviously, and this is one of the tracks that the British touring cars go to, and always thoroughly enjoy watching the meetings here. I'm just not a fan of driving it. I find it a little bit too narrow for my driving style. I need a bit more road than that.
A bit more runoff, mate, just in case. Typical English track day type car. Track day type track. Interestingly, actually, Ben Parkey has raced on this track in real life. Ben Parkey, for the viewers out there, who's our current Formula Renault champion. He races supercarts, and he was on this track, I think it was June last year, in the pouring rain in June, apparently. We've got some onboard footage. It does, We've got some onboard footage of him driving it on YouTube. My God, he was shifting. Probably going as quick as these Clios, I would say, being in a supercar. It's going to be interesting. So, do you want me to? We've got 3 minutes left. Do you want me to talk about the reverse grid? I'll talk about the reverse grid when they're doing the formation.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll do it in the formation. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, shall we just have we'll have a quick chat about the track, a couple of track facts. It's owned by the Jonathan Palmer's Motorsport Vision, who own a lot of the tracks here in Great Britain. It's a FIA Grade 3 track, and we are on the island circuit, aren't we? I believe.
Yes. It's the full circuit, the international.
Full circuit. Is it?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so. It is. Yes.
Okay.
I believe
right.
So.
Well, if we're on the full international, I obviously haven't been paying attention, have I? Yeah.
International. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I believe G's in our background, in our comms box. Are you? Is that right, G? International. Yeah, maybe. Okay, right.
It is.
It is. Okay, so 2.6 miles, 17 turns. Lap record is a 1:24.6, done in 1996 by Gareth Reeds. Never heard of him. In a Reynard Cosworth 95D. Yeah, know it well. Basically an F2 car. As I always bring up, Knickerbrook Corner. Knickerbrook Corner is called that because there was some construction work down there, and the guys doing the construction saw a couple running off, being a little bit sheepish and running off into the distance, and when they went and had a look just in the brook that's just by the side of that corner, they found the ladies' underwear in the just in the brook. So that couple had been having
we'd have never done that in our day, would we? We'd have never done that in our day.
Far too cold for that. I'll keep my knickers on, thank you. That couple were obviously having fun there at that corner, so the name stuck. So it's now called Knickerbrook Corner, and that's the reason why. And I bring that fact up.
That. That's cool.
Yeah. I tend to bring that fact up every time we're at Orton Park. So for those who watch regularly, probably heard me say that many times. We had it. We had it Sunday night with the with Snetterton and the scary tree. One of our foreign viewers said, "Oh look, there's a tree that looks like a man," and we had to explain the whole, the whole scary tree thing. Anyway,
it's well known for that scary tree, isn't it, old Snetterton?
Well, it's gone now. It blew down last year.
It?
Yeah, so they had to remove it. So. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go back on Motive's channel on YouTube and look up Snetterton from Sunday, and I'll explain it to you then. Otherwise, wait until it's Snetterton again, and I'll explain it to you again then. But in the chat, well, plenty from Prolapse, Team Prolapse. Yep, we've got a couple of Prolapse drivers in this one, in the shape of Unorthodox and Laney. Both are Prolapse teammates.
Yep,
absolutely. So good luck to them, but we're not biased. We don't mind. I'll be double biased on Dan, can't I? I'll be absolutely double biased, being that
you're allowed to. You're his dad. You're his dad.
Yeah, because I'm his dad and he's a teammate. Then Dan for the win. Dan for president. Yeah, so.
Well, I don't know about president. I mean, probably not that far, but definitely potentially for the win. But it could be anybody's race, couldn't it, mate? With the rain, I mean, we've had a few races this season in touring cars in the rain, and it's been really tough. Oh my God, the BMs have been doing well in that. So it'd be interesting to see how these guys all fare. And obviously, with the reverse grid, the top drives have got to fight their way up through the grid, haven't they? So of the track.
Indeed.
So,
and quite interestingly, Mark, are Tier 2 drivers who are just coming in to try Tier 1. Cobb being the fastest man on track. I know it's only a practice session. Yeah, and Amazing Piper 4th. And Kurt in 6th, so they have had a little bit of time in the Clios in the last race. So these boys got their hand in. So we'll see how they get on in the race.
It's a bit of an advantage for them to a certain extent because they're and it was racing in the Tier 2. Sorry, it was raining in Tier 2 as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So they've kind of got a little bit of a feel. That depends on how many of the other guys have actually done a bit of practice. So we'll see. So. Few more seconds now left, and looks like we've only got Kurt out on the track. He'll be finishing off now. Melted Dazzler's finished, so they're all now in the pits, and in a second they'll be looking at the setup. So yes, good lap by Cobb there on 56.8.
Yeah, Kurt ends up going second place as well. So the two new boys, the two guests, end up going first and second in that practice session. But it was only a practice session. This one's going to run. This is your sprint race, and it will work in reverse grid order. So the way that happens, for those of you who haven't tuned in before, what will happen is these guys will set off on their first lap, so like a formation lap, where they will get themselves into grid order, and then we will have a rolling start on that one. So that's the way it's going to work. And Mark, I believe you have the order.
Yes, I do have the order. So we'll go from the front to the back. So Smoky Devil is going to be at the front of this group, followed by Veligrik, then followed by Nick the Villa. Lane is in 4th. Melted Dazzler in 5th. Dan Unorthodox is in 6th. Delore in 7th. Luty McShooty 8th, John Boy 9th, the only G in 10th, and as you said, the three guests, Amazing Pie Boy, Cobb and Kurtz, will be rounding up the grid at the back of the group. So, looking good, mate. Feeling excited. Here we go.
Great racing with the Clios, always is. Quick word to our sponsor for this championship, Silent X Energy, which is, again, if you don't know, if you didn't watch Tier 2 and hear Daniel drip on about it for half an hour, it's a plant-based energy drink, and I believe if you go onto their website and you use the Motive code, you can get yourself 10 or 15% off, I think, which is quite impressive, isn't it?
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
There you go.
Just syncing up, these guys will just roll off the start like that, and then you'll see them crash into each other. That's brilliant. Well done, guys. You'll see get themselves into their order. These guys, regular Motive racers, all of these, so they'll know how to play the game and what's needed. And as we see, we're on board with Amazing Pie Boy. He'll drop almost to the back as he's a guest this evening. Smoky Devil, as you can see, has already made his way to the front. He is your pole sitter. It will be a rolling start for the rest of the duration of the, whatever we've got, about 25 minutes. So
look at that, mate. Everybody's in position. They just know what to do. They just know what to do. Already there. Yeah.
Who says you can't educate pork, eh?
Exactly. They've done really well. So, because, we had a bit of challenges a few seasons back, but now everybody's really used to doing this now. So, and it really does give the opportunity for some of the people at the back of the season to potentially have a win, right? So, totally. especially in these conditions. So, it'll be interesting to see how far the G, for instance, and John Boy and Luty, who are obviously in the top 3 of the season so far. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking to G beforehand, he doesn't sound all that confident in this one. He doesn't feel that he'll be doing a lot of overtaking through this one. So, drive to survive. I think this one, isn't it? Stay on track and see what you get. As you can see, the puddle's already building a huge puddle there on the exit of that chicane. As we said, it's the international circuit that we're running, which is the full GP one, which is the better circuit. As they just come down to the tail end of the circuit now, so Smoky Devil works as a safety car. It's no overtaking, obviously, until they go across the start-finish line and they start the next lap. So it's Smoky Devil's choice when he wants to go, how he wants to do it. He can drop the hammer anytime he likes now. His choice. So we're just waiting for see when Smoky Devil drops the hammer, and the rest of the field plough down on him as he comes round the last corner and just back into the.
Like he's gone for it.
Yep. Put the hammer down. Yeah. And he's away.
There
we are green flagged and we are racing.
Go.
Go, as Murray used to say. So Smoky.
Absolutely.
Smoky with the slight advantage because he knows when to go first, so that guy will always have the slight advantage. Cameraman's off into the distance, isn't he? Yeah, that cameraman was sleeping because we were trying to look at Vigla, who's getting all kind of wide as we go round this turn for the first time this evening.
Nice and clean, mate. Nice and clean for all the drivers.
Good start. Absolutely.
Let's see how they get into this very interesting hairpin at the end of the tail end of the circuit. That corner can be a bit tricky when you're going flat out. Obviously there won't be in this, but Valigra's coming up on close. He's thought twice about it. It's coming on the inside right now with Smoky. Smoky's gone out wide. Out of Valigra now goes into first spot. Good move there by Valigra on the first corner, on the first hairpin. And they were coming into the first major chicane. I love that chicane.
That is quite. I must admit, I quite like that chicane. And the tyre barriers here, don't ever hit them. Those solid. They're rooted right to the core of the planet. That's how solid they are.
That's right.
Smoky Devil under extreme pressure for who's that right behind him? Laney, I think, or Nick Navilla. One of those. Yeah, both of them. Laney not so happy in the rainy, but he's going on quite nicely. Up into third with Nick De Villa all over him like a cheap suit as they fight it out for the third position. But Vigla, Team Camber, is off and away in front.
There he is. He's pulled out a little bit of a gap, and is obviously Smokey's holding up this pack a little bit. Laney will be wanting to try and get past Smokey as soon as possible, so he can get himself back up behind Veligra. So yeah, let's have a look. You can see here, see if he can try and get the run on into him into the first corner, which is a very dodgy corner to overtake.
It is.
So
easy to run
probably
wide
think
as well,
twice.
isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to take the gears right on this one. I'll go on board. I'll go on
look
board
at him!
Oh, he's lost it.
Yeah, he lost it on that puddle.
Just a little bit. Now he's got it all too. So he's only dropped one spot. So Nick de Villa, who's a very, very capable driver, did great in touring cars on Sunday at Snetterton. So Laney's got it all to crack on with. One thing about Laney, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, he's a very, very fast driver. Every now and then, though, he does make the odd mistake. I've noticed it. And out goes wide, slightly goes wide. Nick de Villa, and he's lost it completely. That's unseated a few of the other drivers. You get that, don't you? When you get one car goes off, you kind of look at it as you're driving. You think, oh my God, I better focus on my own bloody driving. So
absolutely. And in the background there, Lucy McShooty and Dan having an absolute cracking battle. I think they kind of nudged each other a little bit as they were avoiding Nick de Villa going wide. They're having a cracking good battle for
close, isn't it?
Fifth and sixth.
Fifth and sixth. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get these gaggle of groups of cars, aren't we? Where you've got little groups. So you've got Dan and Luty in that little one there. The G's kind of caught up. Well, he's got a little bit of a gap to Delory, but he's got this group here at the back here where we've got Nick de Villa. Unfortunately, he's gone back into ninth now, and Amazing Pie Boy's actually got in front of John Boy now with Cobb and Kurt bringing out the back. So let's go back up to the front and see how Veligra is doing. He's 1.5 seconds. So he's not doing too bad, actually. He's keeping it. This is it. You've got to keep it solid, Kelly. As you know, you can't have any mistakes. You make one mistake, that's all it takes, and you are literally going to be a fifth place person if you just have one mistake. But
as we see quite clearly from Nick de Villa, just went back, and I mean the whole pack is spread out by 7 and a bit seconds. I mean Viglo has kind of checked out a second 1.8 in front, but the rest of the field, nobody's. There's no big gaps with the guys. It's just so close. Who was that went wide? Somebody went wide.
Come back on again there, basically. I think it's the G. Yeah, that's right. Well,
no
he
arm
managed
done,
to keep
really.
it in. No arm done. Yeah, exactly. So Laney's right up behind Smokey again. He was back in the same position as last time. So he's looking to try and get on the inside there, but just couldn't make it stick. It's still a bit wet. Maybe trying to get the traction out of these corners with the wet is a bit tricky, but I'm sure he'll be past Smokey at some point. He's getting right up close to him there.
The problem is, Mark, as you know as well as I do, if you take a move and you don't make it stick, you're off the track and in the grass. That's it. You're going back to the back of the grid. So
that's right.
Anybody going to overtake, not just Laney, but anybody. If you're, look, Luty's got to look up the inside of Laney there and couldn't quite make it stick. That has a knock-on effect. Dan now having a little bit of a look, but as I said, if you end up making a move that isn't going to stick, you're going to end up with a Bottas and Russell.
Affair. That's right. That's right, mate. You've got to keep your wits about you.
Totally.
Dan just managed to get in front of Luty, just as you were talking there, mate. Just had a great little move coming to the top of the hill. Now they're coming back down here again. So Laney will want to get himself in front of Smokey, because it's all doing really well for Veligra. He's now got a 3-second gap. So someone's going to have to make some moves. A little bit wide there from Laney's.
So they're all over the place. Dan's put a move over on. Where's Smokey gone? Smokey's gone back. That's what's happened. Smokey went wide, went back there. Had a real knock-on. That's taking him back.
I'm just going to go on board with this because I want to take you through this. So this corner's like a fourth gear corner. Fourth gear corner in the dry third, I would say, in the wet.
Yeah.
And as you're coming down here, you flat out this little kink to the left here. For me, I've got to lift off a little bit.
Oh,
and,
Laney, hold on to it.
Controlling it, yeah, absolutely. Back down, probably right down to second gear right here, right now.
Yeah.
And coming in tight into the corner here to try and get as much traction out as possible, and then flooring it up to fourth gear. And then as you're coming into the first major chicane here, down to second gear wheel, it went a bit wide there. Trying to get as tight as possible around these corners to get as much speed out as possible. He's doing really well. And then flat out to fifth gear down to the second chicane, where you have to really slam on their anchors and then get yourself down in tight here. Always use the... he's gone close right into that puddle there.
Yeah.
Very close to the solid tyres. Then back up the hill to probably, for me, is one of the worst corners that I experience. I can never get this corner right. Just flat down as much as possible as you can do, and then click it down to third gear, fourth in the dry. Oh, he's gone a bit wide there.
Yes.
Managed to keep it on tight, and then coming back down to the start of the lap again towards the last corner, up into fifth gear, and then Dan's all over him because he was a bit
He's going to go round the outside. Dan's trying to go round the outside. I can only see him. I can see him in Laney's mirror.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, he's really with him now, isn't he? Laney was definitely a bit scrappy on that corner. Oh, sorry, on that lap there. Oh, a bit tight there.
Dan going wide. Laney through the puddle again. You would have thought he would have learnt that one. So Smoky Devils got up in front of Dan because Dan went wide on the exit of whatever corner that was, as they come down to Cascades again. If we stay on board with Laney for a minute, that's Cascades down through there. I'm going to put some names to these corners. This straight is called Lakeside. The next one is Island Bend. You're absolutely right. You have to kind of lift off a little bit, or in most of the things I drive, you have to lift off a little bit. You come down the bottom here. This is Shell Oil's corner, which is on camber. Camber's around the inside, which is great.
It is.
And then they're going to come up to Bitton's chicane, this section that Laney's coming up to next. So fast chicane, tricky chicane, and a very solid tyre wall. So he's through that, and this is Hilltop. He's going along now, Hilltop straight, and he'll be coming along to Hislop's chicane is the next one. As we look in the distance, Lucy McShooty has now got in front of Dan. And in front of Smokey as he goes through. Laney goes through Hislop's. Big scrap going on behind. This is Knickerbrook. He's coming through. We talked about Knickerbrook earlier and all the rest of it.
I can see the knickers over there, mate. Look, there's the knickers.
That's it. There we go. Clay Hill, this one, and down to the water tower is through here, this section, and then Druid's Corner. He's coming through right now. Warwick Bridge, this one they go underneath.
Derry Warwick, perchance?
I don't know, mate. Don't know. And this last corner is Lodge Corner. Or the Lodge Corner's here, and then the little bit of a kink as you go across start-finish lane is Deer Leap. So there you go. Do you love tracks that have got names for the corners?
That's great, actually. The way you explain that, they all made complete sense. Because sometimes you get stupid names, don't you, for some of the corners and some. But like Hilltop, for instance, there definitely is a hilltop as you're going just over the hill and just between the two chicanes. I tell you, coming back to you're talking about Shell Corner, to go back to Dan and Luty. Shell Corner with the camber as you're going round, as you're going on the inside.
It's lovely, isn't it?
That is a lovely corner. It feels fast, doesn't it?
Yes,
really
it
fast
is. And
for a tight corner.
I said earlier that I wasn't a big fan of this track, but I've got to say the last section, so the GP section really is, or not the last section, the GP section into what we were talking about. So Island Bend into Shell Corner, and then back. That's it, just here. This is the best section of the track for me.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, good section of track for sure.
I just somehow managed to get. Oh, I know what you mean. Some tough parts to it, but that corner as you're going around on the camber, you can literally floor it in second gear and just get up into third as you're just coming out of it, and it just sticks. It just sticks to the road. It's amazing corner in many cars that you drive. I can imagine in these it's cool. I know it is in the Megans. But anyway, as we're coming round, so we've got Luty's managed to get himself just ahead of Dan, not by much though, but he's he's on. It was actually managed to catch right back up to Laney. Laney managed to get a bit of a gap, maybe a couple of mistakes. But,
could be,
Yep, absolutely. And Smoker's dropped back to 5th. With Melted Dazzler just on his tail. Oh, just coming on the inside there is John Boy. Just managed to control that skid there. He nearly lost it there, Kelly. Just very, very good driving from Kelly. Oh, and it's very tight. Look at G in between this
G's getting involved now. And
he just got out. He just tapped out. Oh, lucky Melted. That was a bit of a race incident, mate.
Yeah, yes, indeed. But took old Delore with him, though. That was the problem, wasn't it? Another Team Camber driver. It was unfortunate. Melted Dazzler just lost it. It's so easy to do. Look, he goes again. Just got in that puddle that time. Melted Dazzler just got in that puddle, and just the back end won't stick with it. It's away. So
What's going around the corner here with Delore and the G? Very, very tight. The G really keeping Delore honest as they come right up the chaff of Delore here. Let's see if he's really going to put a bit of pressure on him coming into Shell Corner in a second. Really sort of pushing him towards the end there.
Yeah.
Oh, great close driving as always with the Clios, mate. And you see G's chomping at the bit to get past him. You can see he's got a good setup there, mate. He's doing really well.
Yeah, although G did say he didn't think he'd be overtaking much, and he's in 9th place at the moment with over half of this race gone. That just proves how difficult it is to overtake in these kind of conditions, in these cars. Opportunities are rarely made. They're kind of given when other people make mistakes, and Delore is one of those that's right at the sharp end. To be fair, he's no slouch, and he's
a great driver.
Yeah, very good driver. So he's not gonna make it easy for G, and I'm sure G wouldn't want him to. We'll see how that one progresses and how long Delore can keep the G behind. Up front, Laney's starting to drag Wiegler in a little bit. The gap down to 1.7 seconds, so he's dragging him in a bit. We'll see if he can drag it back before the end of the race. So he's not catching him in leaps and bounds, but he is catching and taking along Lucy Matsuti and Dan as well for good company. Dan's then gapped back to John Boy a little bit by a second or so, a couple of seconds. So these three cracking on, trying to. Look, as Lucy goes right round does down the inside before Cascades on Laney. Yeah, he must have had a run on him. So Lucy's up to 2nd place. He's now can get after Wiegler. Of course, while these lot are scrapping and changing position, that gives a bit of respite for Wiegler out in front. I'm sure he'll want to take this home and make this a win.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure how many wins Wiegler has had actually, but
I don't think he's had any in Tier 1. I think he had a couple in Tier 2 last season, you know?
Okay.
I'll
check that. I think you're right.
I'm not 100% sure, but but most
I'll check now, mate.
Right.
And he's had Wiegler. No, he hasn't. The best he's had so far is a 5th place actually. So this would be great for him if he can put this one away.
Yeah, if he can keep it together, because Lucy Matsuti is coming. He's dropping Laney just a little bit. Dan's still behind Laney at the moment. He is coming. He's coming. Yeah. Lucy's definitely got the bit between his teeth, and obviously loving these conditions because he's flying.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine Wiegler is looking at his timings come down bit by bit, checking his mirrors and thinking, oh my God, he's getting closer. It's interesting, isn't it, how it's all sort of panned out on this one. Just going to the back, unfortunately, Nick de Villa, from that early mistake that he had, he's just not been able to pull himself back up the order, unfortunately. Looking at our guest drivers,
someone went off there. Who was that?
That looks like Melted Daz. No, it was Amazing Pie Boy. Amazing Pie Boy. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like something's dangling off the side of it. Oh no, it's the rain coming off the side. Again, the graphics on this place, I always comment on about how amazing all the little details are. There's literally got rain pouring off the car. But yeah, so obviously the best of the guests at the moment is Kurt. He's obviously clearly been been doing a sterling job there, trying to keep it on the track and not have any mistakes as he possibly can do. But no, he's been doing a great job, considering he started at the back. He's now into 7th place. So getting back. Oh look, we missed it, Luti. Oh sorry mate, as we've been looking through, but Luti's got himself up in front of Valigre.
Yes, he has.
And so unfortunately, it might not make Valigre's maiden win here, but it's still all to play for with 5 more minutes left. He's got to keep his head where he needs to be right now and actually really give as much of a push on Luti as possible. But Luti's looking solid out there, mate. He's looking really solid.
Yes, he is. He's definitely on a charge and loving these wet conditions. As we see Wiegler now beginning to struggle a little bit. Now he's under pressure from Dan, who has managed to get in front of Laney as well. We didn't see that happen. But Dan's on a mission as well. He's flying in these wet conditions. We know Dan's a bit of a rainmeister anyway. Very, very good in wet conditions. So, he's having a look at Wiegler now. And Laney's still there in close company as well. So Prolapse boys looking to put both those cars on the podium. We'll see how that pans out as Laney's now having a look down the inside of Dan.
He's having a run. He's got the inside as well. He's got the inside on Dan. It's going to be a late break. Lots of late breakers.
Oh, I think
just
they
rubbed a little bit of the door handles there. Absolutely, a little bit of a love kiss there from the 2 Prolapse teammates.
Yeah, but Nicky will have to have a word with those 2. It's back in the Prolapse office. Back in the Prolapse office for these 2. They'll get smacked bodies again.
Exactly. It'll be a bit like
that was John Boy
wide there.
John Boy was catching as well.
Managed to keep it. He was John Boy, mate. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but he's lost himself a couple of seconds. Yeah, you can imagine Nicky and Laney would be like Nicky would be like Gunter Steiner having a go at N-Dubs and bloody Laney saying what I won't even swear. I don't want to swear. You know what he's like. If you've all watched that sort of stuff, we look like a bunch of you-know-whats. Bleep bleep.
Yes,
you can imagine Nicky having that chat.
Gunter's got a worse potty mouth than I have, so he's great for that. Just going back, we got 16 people watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Last couple of minutes of this race, just in the chat. Cillian Hub, these guys need a Silent X energy drink ASAP. Don't we all, to be fair? Don't we all? We all need Silent X energy drinks right now to keep our energy levels up. If you want a Silent X energy drink, go over to their website. You can grab a code from the Motive website and get yourself, I think, 15% off any of their flavours.
So not bad at all.
It's all right, mate. Not bad, is it? Better than a poke in the eye with a short stick, isn't it? So absolutely. So good deals from Silent X Energy. So go and check them out after the racing, of course. Don't go and check them out now, because we're watching Luti with an absolute fire. Wiegler's managed to gap down a little bit again now, after Dan and Laney were having handbags at the start-finish line. It's given let Wiegler off a little bit and gap down just a touch. So the top 4 still only covered by a couple of seconds, as we see Luti going round for another lap, just avoiding that big puddle that has formed on turn 1.
Yeah, this is penultimate lap, mate, looking at the timings of what timing's left. So if Valigre's got to do it, he's got to do it now, really. He's got to really put as much pressure as possible, not make any mistakes, and get as close to Luti as he possibly can do to hopefully put a bit of pressure on Luti to make a mistake. But Luti looks to me like I don't think he's going to make those mistakes. He's been very, very solid in this rain.
Yes, indeed.
So let's just watch these last 2 laps out. Let's go back to Dan. Dan's just probably half a second behind Valigre, but Valigre has actually got right up back behind Luti. If you just keep on putting the pressure on him, you never know, mate. You never know. Anything can happen in the last 2 laps.
Absolutely. And just jumping back to the chat on YouTube, and Gillian has said, I swear, Kelly, that you can't say my name. It's your old age getting the better of you. Of course, it's Green Pies, it's Killian, and I know exactly how to say his name, but it's turned into such a great wind-up to call him all kinds of names, really. isn't it?
Well, I've got to be fair to you, mate. I've always thought he looks like Gillian.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my eyesight on looking at the Discord list or something like that. That's probably what it is, to be fair.
Absolutely. or maybe it's just our age. Do you know what I mean? And it's maybe it is. But. Killian will be joining me for the feature race, aka Green Pies. Will be joining me for the feature race very, very shortly, because we've got to lose poor Mark. We've got to lose you to work commitments. That sucks, doesn't it? But
it does, mate. Yeah.
The money you're on, I wouldn't be so disappointed.
£2.50 an hour. Yeah, so that's what £2.50 an hour.
That's what I meant.
Absolutely. Exactly. And Dan's doing a great little job here on Veligra, and Veligra's going to be a bit of pressure here. I'm sure he'll want to come on with a second place, but Dan's managed to take him on the final lap. Oh, unlucky Veligra, and Laney's taken him as well. Veligra's lost it. The pressure's got to him a little bit on this last lap. And this is the boys, right? Luty, Dan and Laney, they've been there so many times. But it's no great shame potentially getting fourth, but hopefully he won't lose it to John Boy, who's coming fairly close behind him. But yeah, Luty, absolutely sterling drive, mate. Really solid. Hardly any mistakes.
Yes, indeed. Having a cracking drive. Just a couple of more corners and he's got this done. The rest of the pack aren't far behind, of course. Looks like Team Prolapse have dragged themselves up onto the podium here. Dan in second, Laney in third. Vigla, Team Camber going backwards, unfortunately. Led this race for so long. Just before we get towards the end, Mark, I want you to have a driver of the race. I'm not going to say driver of the day because we've got another session to come, but what's going to be your driver of the race?
I've got to say Luty. He hasn't put a foot wrong at all, mate. Hasn't put a foot wrong. So, he's come on with a win. Solid drive in these very tricky conditions. And just as we're coming in here, Laney's putting as much pressure on Dan as possible because Laney does have probably a 1 second penalty, which it will lose his position to Veligrek here as he comes into the final corner. Let's get to the front of the grid here. There's Luty to an absolutely outstanding win here at the start. Great flashing of the lights there with Dan in second, Laney in third. Veligrek gets fourth, and John Boy gets Veligrek gets third, John Boy gets fourth. Laney drops down to fifth because of that penalty. He's got to stop having penalties, as Laney. Kurt did a great job coming over the line now in sixth, considering he started at the back of the race. The G in seventh, Delory in eighth. Nick the Villa, after his early mistakes, bit of a state on his car because of that mistake. And just rounding up the top 10 when the list gets up, we've got Melted Dazzler in 10th. So there's your 10 drivers for the sprint. Great race, mate, in that rain.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, some great racing there for sure. Looking at our guests, Kurt up into sixth place. I think that's a good drive in front of the only G and in front of Delore. I think that's a solid drive. We may see Kurt permanently in Tier 1 next season, which looking forward to because he's a quick little driver, that one. So, Mark, we've got to say goodbye to you.
Unfortunately,
it wasn't anything like long enough.
No, well, we'll do the full lot next week, mate. Final race of the Clio season at Silverstone. Really, really excited to watch that. It's going to be close racing, just to see the finale. And anyway, I must go to work, and I'm sure you'll be in great, capable hands with Green Pies, who's an absolutely outstanding commentator as well. But have a good one, mate. Take care of yourself.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Thank you for all your help this evening. So Mark will be back with us next week for the Clio Cups next week. We're going to take a short break, and then Gillian's going to join me. He's decided to nickname me Mr. Dinosaur, so and why not? He's going to join me in the commentary box for the feature race. We'll be doing qualifying in just a few moments. Don't go far.
Like we're safe now.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully, I didn't want to exit. Hey, Cillian, how you doing, mate?
What's up, dinosaur?
No, that's not me. That's Martin. That's true, actually. Yes.
How old are you, Mark?
Same age as you, mate. 50.
Oh right, okay. So we're equal dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Jeez, you two combined is a century.
It really is. Yeah.
All that experience, mate. All that experience.
Yeah. And you and G together probably don't make 30.
No, we would. We'd make about 35 or something.
Ah, well, there you go. 36.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. God, by the time I was 36, I'd done it all.
Yeah, got t-shirt.
Exactly. Right, I better shoot. See you later, guys. Mate. All the best. Bye.
Thank you.
This is going to be a great crack.
Yeah, should be.
That was close. Very close.
What happened to you, G? You were chasing Delore, did you? That's quite a puddle as well, isn't it?
Thing is, on the opening laps, I was thinking that puddle just got worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't see on stream what happened to you. And you were kind of right up behind Delore, chasing him, and then next you dropped back. So, yeah.
Have you got any inside information for us this race?
It's wet.
Inside information.
Yeah.
It's stripes, right?
You drive for this one, is it?
Yeah, qualified the race.
Ah, oh, that could be interesting.
I need an invite.
What lap is pits? Lap 7.
Have you got more facts for this, Kelly?
No, I used up all my facts on the first one. I'll make something up, don't worry about it.
You used all the facts. Oh, you didn't even save any facts for me. That hurts my feelings.
Well, I thought you'd get some of your own as you were sitting around doing nothing.
Fair enough. I can't even argue with that logic.
No. Mate, it's real easy. There's no real trick to it. It's just called Wikipedia.
Yeah, but like, no.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah, like no.
Have you got something against Wikipedia, have you?
I've been caught for plagiarising to Wikipedia before, so...
Wow.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Wikipedia.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, you know, if it's not true, then I talk mostly rubbish anyway, so it doesn't really make much odds, does it? You know?
Sure, maybe we can expose more secrets.
No, who cares, really?
Yeah.
I mean, if they do fact check it, then yeah, whatever. You know, I'll just tell them get a life. Boiling?
You sure?
You're boiling. Well, go out and stand out in the rain.
Yeah, I need to.
So I work driving, innit?
Yeah.
Mind you, I've been known to get a sweat on commentating.
It just gets that intense, does it?
It does a little bit, yeah, absolutely. You know, I kind of, I don't know about you guys, but I can't sit still. I sit on the edge of the sofa all the way through it. Even when I'm not, you know, you're like Green Pies, you're going to be race director. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you know, so I could really just sit back and relax, but I don't. I sit on the edge of my seat, forward, backwards. Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
At the end of the tier 2 race, I was like on the edge of my seat, like, come on,
Yeah.
DJ Phil, you got this.
Yeah. Gets like that.
Gee, you should start from the back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Silent X Energy Clio Cup here on Motive Racing, here at Alton Park. My name's Kelly Davis, I'm your commentator, and I'm joined with Killian, aka Green Pies. Good evening, my friend.
Good evening, Kelly. I'm surprised you didn't give me one of my many nicknames you've done
Yeah.
me with.
we're getting a few now, isn't it? I thought just for a change, I would call you by your real name. There's a bit of a those of you who haven't. I mean, we've only commentated once together, but we're certainly getting a bit of banter, and I mistakenly called Green Pies Gillian to start with, and that seems to have stuck, and there seems to be a bit of a running joke. You commentated on the Tier 2s this evening. Good racing tonight, hasn't there?
Oh yeah, it's great racing, but one thing that I think has been a wee bit of a hiccup, I haven't gotten an invite yet, so...
Oh, okay. Right, I'm sure that'll be sorted out any second soon. So just for a minute, we're stuck watching Amazing Pie Boy, which, you know, isn't the end of the world. We don't see enough of Amazing Pie Boy. Let me run...
I saw him in the Tier 2s, so Amazing Pie Boy, he's a good driver.
Absolutely, and he's guesting this evening. Let me just run through where we are and what we're doing for the next little while. This is now a qualifying session for the feature race. Qualifying, as you can see, it's still raining here at Orton Park. I think it's eased up a little bit from what it was earlier, but the rain is still coming down. But I believe we have a weather change for the feature race, so look out for that. So wet qualifying doesn't mean it's going to be a wet race. Certainly not in the virtual world. So we've got a 15-minute qualifying session, as we see Amazing Pie Boy just losing it there. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we have a sprint race, however many laps that is, with sorry, not a sprint race, a feature race with a mandatory pit stop in there as well. So we've got a couple of guests tonight, being as a couple of guys didn't turn up, and we have the top 3 championship contenders from Tier 2 are joining us in Tier 1 this evening. So that would be Cobb, Kurt V and Amazing Pie Boy, who you are watching on screen right now. So they are joining us as guests. We've lost a couple this week for various reasons. I don't know why, work commitments, so on and so forth. No Andy tonight, no WRCJ, and no DeHurst Rocker, the House Rocker. We've lost those.
No, not yet.
You know, we were just talking about that, G. G in the background. We're just getting the invite sorted out, so we're stuck watching Amazing Pie Boy just for a minute, but that will change. You know better than I do, G. Why you guys are sorting that out amongst the two of you? What's that? Okay. What are you going to do? Yeah, otherwise we're going to watch Amazing Pie Boy for the whole thing. So, ladies and gentlemen,
he's a great driver.
He is a great driver. We don't want to watch him all night, do we? You know, so you've got a couple of technicals, ladies and gentlemen, where we just need to restart the lobby again. The way that this works is that Green Pies is race director and it hasn't just been set up for him just yet. With the change of commentators and so on and so forth, we just overlooked that. So there is a good chance that we will just have to change the lobby. So we'll just see what happens. While we're doing that, Killian, what's your feelings on Orton Park track? Are you a fan?
Well, I do like this track. This track does have quite a bit of history in the motorsport world. But one driver who...
Oh, okay. G, do you need me to press continue?
No.
Right.
Just leave the lobby.
Okay. Right.
We're not delayed anyways. It's not actually.
Right.
So this hiccup has actually helped us.
Yeah, put us on time instead of
Yeah.
So that's rare.
I've just come to put everything back on track.
I knew I forgot something.
So
Yeah, I was just sitting there, I was like, am I not meant to be doing this?
So I got to re-pick up the invite, yeah, as well?
Yeah.
G? Yeah. Okay, accept the invite, yeah.
I was like, setting lobby settings, I was like, no. I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're missing me.
A race director.
Green Pies.
Hopefully everyone got the memo.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, I'm just going through.
Oh. So annoyed I didn't win the first race.
So am I.
I got close. Second.
I'm voting for you to get the win, Dan. Come on,
Luty.
you got this.
No, don't vote for me.
So how long did X not watch Laney?
Not that much, actually. Luckily enough, it was towards the front anyway. Yeah.
I think I was booting Laney several times.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We saw you get together, you two.
Oh, fucking hell. I
Luty.
shat my pants on him.
Luty was driving really well.
He was very pushy. He was very, very pushy.
Yeah, but he had pace.
Yeah, he had John. Well, John Boy was the fastest by a mile.
Yeah, but he dropped it.
He kept getting caught up in so many incidents, and then I was up their pace, but I just kept getting stuck behind either Smokey, Laney, or Vliga. It was really frustrating me.
Yeah. G, do I need to be having a broadcaster thing?
Yeah. Let me just.
Yeah, all right.
And set me as the cameraman this time.
I'm so glad you said that, G, because I fucked up my first lap at quali. I was like, I had a slow. Yeah.
Dan, I came to save you.
I was flying. By the end of it, I was 4/10 off the Lore's fastest, and I still had to do a server slowdown, and I gave up so much time. Straight
Wow.
at me.
No,
I was going to do a decent lap.
he was going to do a decent lap. Yeah,
His
I
decent
say
lap.
that every
His-
time I'm going to do a lap. This is going to be the one.
His decent lap would have been my sweaty lap.
Yeah. Sweaty laps.
Would have been my pro lap.
Cameraman.
Yep.
Cameraman Gillian.
Gillian. Gilly.
And viewer Dinosaur.
Brilliant.
Well, I need a double check. I need a double triple check. What we said is okay. Everyone's in.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's Darth Vader in the party or something.
Who's heavy breathing? Is he? Not now, Dan. We're just about to go on stream, man.
Luke, I am your father.
No, I'm your father. How we
You should be
laugh.
saying that to him.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you've just joined us, welcome along. We had a couple of technical problems, a couple of setting changes, nothing too serious, but we had to restart the lobby. But we are back here at Orton Park for the Silent X Energy Clio Cup. I'm joined with Green Pies, Killian, and we are qualifying here, Gilly.
Yeah, it's a wet qualifying, Mr. Dinosaur. So hopefully that might shake it up before the race.
Absolutely, we're expecting a dry race for the feature race after this qualifying session. So 15 minutes of qualifying in the wet, and then we're on to the feature race. Feature race works as a normal race. Standing start, we have a mandatory pit stop that everyone has to take. Don't have to change tyres or do anything like that. They just have to take that pit stop. That will happen in the feature race. So we're back. If you're fancying like saying something in the chat, well then please do. We love to see your comments. Gives us something further to talk about as well as the racing. But normally some good action with the Clio, so we shouldn't need too much to talk about.
Something I want to quickly talk about is the guy that we're watching right now, Cobb, and the other two visitors. They've not driven once on this track while it's been dry, so I think that might be a wee bit of a disadvantage to them.
Oh, absolutely, but of course for this evening, nor is anybody else, you know. So, yeah, we'll see how they fare with the. Certainly, Kurt was doing quite well in the sprint race in the wet. So we'll see how they fare in the feature race and see we'll see how good they really are, because as I believe the top three from Tier 2 go up into Tier 1, or have that choice to go up into Tier 1 for next season. So this is where these guys are going to be, being that they finish the championship in those positions. I don't quite know the exact championship order for Tier 2 or Tier 1 for that matter, to be fair, but they will be stepping up to Tier 1 for next season. So this is going to be a good insight, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I like my Tier 2 drivers. They're the first guys that I commentated over, and they're probably my favourite guys to commentate over. So I'm definitely going to be supporting my 3 Tier 2 drivers that are here tonight.
Absolutely, and why not? And you know, the calibre of those drivers is just as good as Tier 1. They're more than capable of doing well in with these guys, so we look forward to it. I've had a couple of tussles with Kurt on track, actually. Me and him have had some great racing. He's Team Camber, which are all out of Belgium. Him, Delore and Viegler, who are both in this, and Pootney, who is in certainly drives touring cars, are all part of Team Camber, all out of Belgium. And Kurt usually comments a lot in the comments and loves to get involved, so look forward to see how he gets on. Quick boy, isn't he?
Yeah, Kurt is he's very quick. He's 3 I guess we'll call them VIP drivers tonight.
Yeah,
they're very quick. That's why they are at the top of the standings in the Tier 2.
Yes, absolutely. And as we said before, these Clio's extremely competitive cars. We see so much close racing. It's got to be one of the best championships for close action. And it's quite surprising that you know the small I will say entry-level motorsport car is such incredible driving or incredible racing that we get from these cars. And have you driven one, Green Pies?
I feel like everyone's going to ask me that question. Yes, I've tried driving these cars.
Tried?
No, I
did not.
The keyword is tried.
Yes, they are. I mean, you back me up on this one. They are incredibly difficult. The rear tyres, a bit like the touring cars. The rear tyre, in fact, they're worse than the touring cars. The rear tyres just never ever warm up. You've got cold tyres on the rear all the time. It makes the back end of these cars, although they're a front wheel drive car, makes the back end of these cars extremely unpredictable and incredibly hard to drive. So if you're out there and you haven't had a go at sim racing, you want to get involved at Motive Racing's website, motiveracing.com, and sign yourself up. And if you think you can drive, come and join us. If you think you can really drive, sign up for Renault Clios.
Would be 100%. Like the F1, it's got fast drivers, but to really show that you're the best of the best, you have to sign up to the Clios. That's why I haven't signed up to the Clios. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's why I dropped them really quickly at the beginning of the season. So, these in the touring cars have got to be two of the trickiest cars on Project Cars to drive. So it makes for great racing, and I've had some absolute classics that I've commentated on with these Clios. So that's the kind of race we're looking forward to again tonight. So let's have a look, see where's where and who's who. Nick Navilla currently quickest on a 1:53.7. The only G just a tenth behind on a 1:53.9. They're the only guys in the 1:53s at the moment. Dan having a cracking good meeting, comes second in the sprint race. Is in third place on a 1:54.1. John Boy, as we see Dan go slightly wide there. John Boy's in fourth place at the moment. Top of the guests at the moment is Cobb in fifth place. And he's got in sixth place he's got Looty McShooty, who won the sprint race. He is currently sixth overall and just retired back to the pits. So Delore, another one of the Team Canberra guys, is in seventh. Laney is in eighth as we stand. No one else has put a time up just yet, so still Vigla, Smoky Devil, Melted Dazzler, Amazing Pie Boy and Kurt V all to put times up yet. So we'll see. As I said, it's a wet session. All the sessions have been wet so far this evening, but we do have a dry feature race. So in the dry conditions, who's your money on tonight? Oh, look at G going very, very wide on the grass, handful of brakes, all the rest of it.
Well, hopefully we might see G going out there and let someone else get the win for once in the feature race.
We'll see about that. We'll see. He'll probably disagree with that one, but who's your money on for this one in the dry?
For my top three, I'm going to have to put this man, Dan, on Orthodubs, on the win. He got second place in the wet sprint race, but I think he's got the pace to get the first place in the feature race.
Okay.
And second, I'm going to go Nick. I believe Nick. He's fast, but I think that the guys behind him will just be faster in the dry. And then to round off the grid, I believe in Cobb. I believe Cobb will be able to get up there and get a podium in this Tier 1 race.
Okay, so is that your prediction for quali or your prediction for the race?
That's my prediction for the race.
Prediction for the race. Okay. Oh wow, what will I do? I'm going to be. I'm going to be a little bit predictable and go for the only G for the win from Dan from Looty McShooty. That's going to be my prediction for the race. But of course, anything could happen, and pretty much everybody on the grid has got a chance at winning this one. So stick around. It's going to be a great race. We've still got 6 minutes of qualifying. So still plenty of time for these guys to get out there and get a time on the board. They won't be doing any setup changes right now because it is going to change to dry as we go into the feature race. So we are going to have a dry race. Got 21 laps with a mandatory pit stop. So pit stop for everyone in the feature race. So that's what we got to look forward to as we're on board with Kurt at the moment, and there was a big puddle in the sprint race on turn 1. That doesn't seem to be so bad at the moment. The rain's not quite as heavy as it was. Is it, Green Pies?
No, it's not. Also, that huge puddle, that wasn't just a big puddle. That was a huge,
it was massive.
Right there. That was there in the Tier 2 race as well. Nick caught out quite a few good drivers. Caught out Cobb a few times as well.
Yeah, indeed. It did turn into a bit of a river, that one. But it's not raining quite so hard here for this qualifying. As they go through the Shell hairpin and coming up to this chicane. We did, just before we went off air, to make changes, we started talking about the track. Are you a fan of this one?
I do like the track. I cannot complain about the track. It's got nice undulations. It's got really good corners, really good overtaking points, like this point right here, where you can get up the inside and be side by side coming through the chicane up to this part, which will basically all be flat out for these cars, I think, when they drive.
I don't know if they'll be quite flat out through Knickerbrook there, but yeah, it's. I've said before, I'm not the hugest of fans to drive it. I think the section around the Shell hairpin and through those chicanes is quite nice, but I do struggle with all these corners a little bit. I find it really quite tricky and not very wide. But it is an old school circuit. It's an FIA Grade 3 circuit. Owned by the Motorsport Vision Group, which is run by Jonathan Palmer, which owns this Donington Park and a couple of others, maybe Brands and somewhere else, all belong to the same company. So yeah, it's a firm favourite with the British touring cars every year. So I mean, it's a great track to watch, and always some great racing. So
yeah, as we just see some comments coming in here from Christopher. I hope that I won't be the only American in the race that I join in. No, you won't be. I believe that a few other ones, such as Chocolate Man in the Tier 2 race, which I believe you'll be going into, he's also American.
Okay.
I believe there are a few other Americans in the Tier 2s.
Right.
And then, you take it away.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't commentate Tier 2 very often, so yeah, I'm unsure who's in there, to be honest. The only other American driver I know of who races regularly is Champ, across the Motive platform, and races over on Simplay as well. I know Champ is American, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting that we have, you know, people from all around the world getting involved, which is fantastic, which makes for such great racing, you know. And bring it on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bring it on for sure.
Motive racing really does have a very diverse base. Like, I'm from Ireland, and there are loads of drivers from the UK, France, Belgium, America. Like, we're worldwide.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I said, the Team Camber are all from Belgium, which is, as I said, Delore, Wiegler, his brother, and Kurt. They're all Team Camber. They're all Belgium. So yourself from Ireland. Who else is on this grid? I'm not quite sure. To be fair, the nationality of everybody. I think there's a lot of English guys here as well. But certainly, who am I thinking of? Hunter, who commentates a little bit as well. He's Dutch. And I know there's a couple of Dutch drivers involved in the Motive League as well. So, yeah, as I say, diversity. We want more girls. That's what we need. It's more girl racers. You know?
Well, it's not that we want more girls. It's we
want girls
girl first.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We want some diversity here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any girls out there, if you fancy it, you know, you can even have a girl car like a Clio, you know. So, so come and get involved, girls. We need more ladies, or we need some ladies. I don't think we've got any ladies on the grid, unless one of these is and we don't know it. But we need more.
Well, you never know these days. People do identify as things.
Oh, mate, don't get me started on all that. We can't get started on all that. Yeah,
we probably can't talk about that as well.
Well, yeah, we can't really, can we? Because we'll probably offend somebody. You know?
Yeah, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings here at Motive Racing. We do accept everyone.
Absolutely, you can be anything you want to be, guys. Absolutely up to you.
Yeah, you just need to be fast as well.
Yeah, we just care if you drive cars. That's all, really. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Like, genuinely, like, we don't really
care. We don't care.
About your background.
Yeah,
we want good drivers.
We just want drivers. Yeah, absolutely, drivers, and to be fair, commentators, stewards, all that kind of stuff is, you know, you can get involved and do any of it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, you and me are not employed. We're not professional commentators. We're just here.
Far from it. Very far from it.
Absolutely. We're just here enjoying ourselves and getting involved. So if you want to get involved, then please do. You can get involved in so many levels. You don't have to be a driver, but you can get involved on whatever you like. But look, blink of an eye, Green Pies, and we are done with qualifying. So that'll be Nick the Villa then on pole. Good drive from Nick the Villa.
Well, I mean, your boy Dan, I believe he's got one more lap in the tank. So
he has. He's still got a chance. And John Boy as well. John Boy's more than capable of putting this on pole as well. So let's stay on board with Dan and see what happens with him as he comes down to the shell hairpin. Nice and tidy. Hugs the apex. Hard on the accelerator up to this chicane. Don't bash into the tyre wall. Have you ever bashed into one of these tyre walls, Green Pies? They are solid. Rooted to
crash, so
yeah, course you don't. They are absolutely planted. I think they're fixed in the centre of the earth. They're so planted. Dan went a bit wide on the exit of that chicane. Comes down to the next chicane, which I've forgotten the name of at the top off the top of my head. Coming through Knickerbrook and looking quite leery, but is it quick? Runs a little bit wide out of Knickerbrook. So into the final sector. John Boy's finished. He hasn't got any quicker. Dan's 2.5 down on his delta. I don't think this is going to be any better for Dan, to be fair. He's the last man out there, so let's see how he gets on as he's just coming under the bridge. And there we go, on board with him. There you go, look.
We are looking through Dan's eyes at the moment.
Absolutely. And as he comes across the line, unless he's performed an absolute miracle, he's going to stay where he is, I would have thought, in third place. But we will verify that for you right now. So Nick De Villa on pole, 1:53.7, just a 10.5 behind is the only G in second place. Unorthodox in third, John Boy fourth, Cobb fifth, best of the guests in fifth. Looty McShooty was in sixth, Delore seventh, Smoky Devil eighth, Laney in ninth, 10th place in Viglo, Melted Dazzler is in 11th, Kurt in 12th, and Amazing Pie Boy brings up the rear in 13th. And look at that green pie, the sun's come out.
It's a lovely evening. Also, I just quickly want to comment on a comment from Christopher. He said he was going to tell his female friends who he does karting with about motive racing.
Yes, bring them on. Bring all your friends, Chris.
Yeah, not just your female friends. Tell all your friends.
Yeah, tell all your friends. Yeah, if you've got some male friends as well, tell them. Yeah, all get involved for sure. So this will be a standing start for this one. Pit opens on lap 7. 21 laps, mandatory pit stop, as I've just alluded to there. As we go back through, you can see all these drivers, some of them haven't turned their wipers off yet, but then it has been raining for for all the way through this evening. I mean, you know, there was some guy out the back of the paddock there loading up animals 2x2. It's been raining so much, you know, so it's nice and dry now, bone dry. Funny that, isn't it? A couple of minutes ago it was absolutely sodden wet, and now it's bone dry. But that's the virtual world for you, green pies, isn't it?
It really is. It's a beautiful sunset too. Or
yeah.
Is that I can't tell if that's sunset or sunrise.
I would think it's sunset. I didn't take notice of what time the race is starting, but they're normally evening, not.
Yeah, we sleep all through the day. We just come into the box whenever we're needed, so we never know what time it actually is.
Absolutely no idea what time of day it is, and so much jet lag going all around the world as we are syncing up, getting ready to go. Nick De Villa on pole. Can he convert this into a win? We are about to find out as we are green. And Nick De Villa, you quite even start from a lot of the pack actually. Nobody much been able to make too many positions. Bit of pushing and shoving in the background as they go round into turn 1, and Nick De Villa stays in first place with and there we go. That's Amazing Pie Boy, who's collected somebody. Sorry, that was Smoky Devil who'd collected somebody. I don't know who. In the background, that's Veliga going very wide across the grass. Melted Dazzler, yeah, he's gone as well. Nearly collects Smokey for another time. John Boy, where is he? Up into 4th place. Dan with a tank slapper
very
on.
Close racing.
But he's got in front of the G. I don't know where he done that, as G gives him a little bit of a nudge, and then John Boy gives G a little nudge. Robbie's racing, so they tell me, but Nick De Villa is pulling a gap already. He's pulled a second on Dan and G and John Boy as they all scrap for position. See back at look
G
at that. I don't know if he hit him or not.
Again.
I don't know if he hit him or not there, green pies, but they certainly all were bouncing across the curbs pretty aggressively, weren't they?
They very much were. As we're just watching John Boy, he's trying to go up on the inside, but just did not do the job.
No, absolutely. G is just hanging out the back end of that Clio, bouncing over the curbs, and he must have had a slowdown. Must have done, because he just come off the power then. And let these guys through. He's been bouncing all over. Dan's done it as well by looks of it. I reckon they both had slow.
McShooty nearly went up and overtook all of them.
Yeah, as Luty goes a little bit wide there, I'm sure Dan and G had slowdowns there because they were bouncing all over the curbs, which has given John Boy second place and Luty Mashuti in third. And those two are quick as. You don't want them in front of you, you want them behind you.
Very much so.
Yeah. So out front, Nick DeVilla's checked out in second and a half.
Wide.
Yeah.
They're going to make it 3 wide going into turn 1.
We'll see. Yeah, so certainly Dan and Luty go round together. G in there as well. John Boy getting away a little bit. He's got his eyes set on Nick and is chasing after him. These three behind him now. Luty Mashuti, Dan going... G going down the inside of Dan. They rub door handles again. A lot of pushing and shoving between these two in the first couple of opening laps of this feature race. John Boy's catching. Yeah, you're quite right. John Boy is catching up to the back of Nick. Nick goes quite deep into that hairpins, giving John Boy is absolutely flying. Green sectors as he chases up to back of Nick DeVilla. Luty McShooty's dropped down a little bit now, and he wants to get involved in this. Oh, Nick has a bounce across the curb, giving John Boy a cracking run down the inside into the next chicane. You said about this being an overtaking opportunity. He's got it done before the chicane. All done and dusted as Luty has a look down the inside later.
Goes for it as well.
He does. That was late on the brakes. Very, very late on the brakes, but made it all stick. I didn't think he was going to get that slowed down, did you?
No, I thought he was either going to go into the side of him or completely overshoot it. Oh no, that's Cobb. My bad.
Yeah, Cobb. Yeah, Cobb's with the same livery as got the same livery on as G, hasn't he? The Monster Energy Nick Hamilton livery.
Yeah, and as we actually go on to G, he's pushing. I don't know who that is. Around these corners.
G's gone back a little bit. I don't know what's happened to him. Has he had another slowdown, or that's Delore that he's just gone round again? I don't know if and Nick's going backwards. Nick DeVilla is going backwards now into fourth place behind Dan. John Boy's up into first, and Nick DeVilla is going backwards, unfortunately, after such a great start. He's dropping back a little bit. John Boy out in front now. That's going to be a difficult one to catch and pass. This John Boy, he's definitely quick enough.
This racing has been crazy. As the only G makes a lovely overtake on the straight. That was a great getaway he got. I'm getting quite thirsty. One thing I could do with right now is
Silent X Energy. Couldn't we all? Just a drink would be quite nice, but to be fair, Silent X Energy would be fantastic, which are currently sponsoring this championship, the Renault Clio Cup. Silent X Energy. Go and have a look on their website. If you get the code off the Motive website, I think it's something simple like Motive 1 or something like that. As we see, look, John Boy has gone backwards. And there's us talking about drinks and Luty Mashuti. I don't know what happened there. I wasn't paying attention.
That was lovely by Dan.
Yeah, indeed. I didn't see what happened. I'm trying to look over to the stream now because there is a bit of a delay on the stream, but I can't work it out either. But Luty Mashuti, second time he's out in front in this race. He won the sprint race. Now he's leading the feature race. The G comes up down the inside of John Boy and moves into third place behind Dan.
I believe John Boy's going to try and go around the outside around this corner. He did try the switchback, but it didn't really work.
Yeah, he's having it's a brave look, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really wants that position back because he knows that the only G is fast, and if he lets the only G off, then he'll probably not see him for the rest of the race.
No, absolutely. He needs to strike what he can because
these guys are going into one corner.
Yeah, they are. They're not afraid, are they? That's for certain.
No, they're really not. There's a reason that these guys are the Tier 1 drivers.
Yep, and this is why Clio's is so good, because there is racing like this every week. And did Dan have a bit of a slowdown because he had a gap there to the G? Now he's right. G's right in there again, trying to go all the way around the outside. That's brave round there. Can't quite make it stick. Dan's covered him off, but G moves from one side to the other. Again, he's on the outside for the first part of the chicane and gets pushed wide. Oh, spins it round.
Spun it.
Yes, indeed. So now he's got work to do.
Yeah, he's really got work to do. He just drives through those cones. Poor cones, getting abused at this track.
Yeah, absolutely. Who'd want to be a cone?
Honestly, it would be the worst job in the world to be a cone.
Yeah. It'd be worse than being a commentator, wouldn't it? Yes, indeed. So keep your comments coming in the chat. We would love to hear from you. We've had Christopher again. I might put Motive Racing on my visor. Go for it, my friend.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. And the wall. Nice overtake, Dan. Yep. I don't know which one that was in, which one that was, but we've had a few overtakes. So, yeah. So, Looty but Shooty out in front. Dan now up to second with John Boy. Very, very close company, John Boy behind Dan. But Looty's checked out 3.2 out in front. Delores got interest in this battle and is giving Nick de Villa a hard time for 4th and 5th place. So far so good. Lap 7 is when the pit window opens.
Yeah, so there's only a few more laps. It looks like Nick got a really bad exit out of there, and that's just, Delores made it on the straight line, I think. Yep,
and John Boy has got in front of Dan down the straight there as well. They went side by side, and John Boy has got in front of Dan just down there on the straight. Obviously got a better run out of there, so Dan's got to do it again and get past John Boy for second place. While this is all going on, Looty is getting away out in front with 3.6 seconds ahead of these guys who are scrapping behind him.
Yeah, Louis going to want to make as much of a gap as possible as Dan's going to try and go on the outside of this turn, I believe it is.
Good luck. Let's see what he can do. He's got the run. He's certainly got ahead, but John Boy just a bit later on the brakes covers him off. Dan tries to get down the inside. Look. Oh, that was a move. Again, Dan takes another switch left to right and tries to get down the inside and get an overlap on John Boy.
Dan is all over the back of him, and he's wanting to get past him. I think he's going to try and outbrake him going into this right-hander here. He'll have the inside. He set it all up. Keep it round.
Yeah, John Boy just running all the way around the outside of him. He's not afraid in the slightest. Knows exactly where his grip is, as these two have been side by side now for about 4 corners. As they go side by side again.
They're touching.
Yeah, and look at that. Delores getting interested in this, is thinking there's a position to be had here. Dan covers Delores off, and still going side by side with John Boy. But finally, Daniel gets the job done. Yeah.
But all that fighting has just let Looty McShooty just get a 5-second gap now.
Yes, indeed, you're quite right. Some great racing from these guys, though. This battle isn't over green pies, is it? John Boy's going to...
Far from it.
Yeah, far from it. Delores involved, John Boy's in there. Nick de Villa has dragged himself up onto the back of this battle as well. So Nick de Villa is going to be interested in this one as well. It's a great shot, this, isn't it? Following behind.
Yeah, Delores has a perfect seat to watch these two battle, but he'll want to be in front of them soon.
Yes, indeed, but as you just pointed out, and it's still happening, Looty but Shooty is just getting away in the background while these guys scrap and fight and jostle for position. This is letting Looty just drive away into the distance. Although, lap 6, we've got 21 laps, so we've got plenty of action still to go. Another 15 laps still to go, and a pit stop from everyone. So still plenty of action here at the Clio Cup. At Horton Park.
Yeah, a few of these Clios seem to have been in the wars a wee bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was Cobb, wasn't it?
That was perfect timing on my part. I believe that was
Cobb, I think.
Cobb, an amazing pie boy.
Yeah.
I wonder, is Cobb just going to retire? No, he's going.
He's moving. So
pie boy's off as well.
Cobb and Amazing Pie Boy, both guests this evening. They're certainly drawing out the battle lines for next season, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm glad that I switched back and saw that.
Yeah, ideal.
He's going to try and go up on the inside of John Boy, and John Boy is
goes real wide.
Very wide there.
Yeah, he's going to get a slowdown out there.
Yeah, that's not where he wants to be. Not at all.
No, and Dan trying to pull away from these guys now and trying to get after Looty McShooty, but he's not really making a dent on him at the moment, as we see John Boy,
John Boy
back right out of it. He had to, because he was going to get a penalty for that long, that going wide at turn 1. He would have definitely had a slowdown for that, which again, those guys who maybe don't play the game and don't understand how it works, you have a slowdown system on this game, so when you cut the corner, you'll get a ping, the most annoying noise in the world, that goes ping and tells you that you need to slow down. You then have to back off and give that time back. Unfortunately, with the game, you seem to give much more time back than you gained, and sometimes it can be really damaging to your race. So it's,
well, I guess it's a punishment if you go off.
Yeah,
you have to slow down.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a bit. I mean, you know, you race this game. Who's that?
Who is that?
That was Delore. Delore just dropped it on that corner. Oh, what a shame. He was going so well.
Yeah, that is not where he wants to be pointing. He needs to be pointing in the right direction to be going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Right direction for forward. Yep. As John Boy's first to pit.
John Boy's in for his mandatory.
Yeah, he's in for his mandatory pit. As I said, everyone's got to take it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change tyres. You don't have to put fuel in. But you do have to make the stop. If you do choose to change tyres, it takes an horrendously long time on this game. The project cars...
No, that's if the mechanics even choose to do the tyres.
Yeah, if they feel like it, because sometimes they just won't do it. And we've had some mixed condition racing, wet to dry and so on and so forth, and the mechanics just don't bother. They just can't be asked. You ask them to check. Oh, look at that. Who's that we're on board with?
Laney.
Laney, look at his bonnet. Laney's having a bit of a quiet race down in 6. He's normally up a little bit higher than this, but he's having a bit of a quiet one. But certainly made a mess of that bonnet. I don't know if it would have done that, because I do believe that Renault Clio's all the front end is plastic, so it probably would have snapped and not bent like that. But hey ho, what do I know? You know. Sorry.
We're the commentators, not the drivers. It's only a game.
Yeah, it's only a game, but sure, the bonnet wouldn't have bent like that. But there you go. But yeah, just going back to the whole slowdown thing. If you don't take that slowdown, you then end up getting a penalty, and then it spirals from there. Really, once you're into one penalty, you kind of spiral into more and more penalties. For the viewers at home, if you look on your screen, you see the timing sheet there on your left-hand side. The guys who've got a red mark by their name means that they already have a penalty. Now you can pick penalties up for cutting corners, and you can get it for a jump start, and you can get it for speeding in the pit lane, and that's a big one. That's a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So we don't know what those guys have got penalties wise, probably a second or 2 seconds or whatever, but that's kind of how it works, just in case you haven't played the game before.
I just checked. Vilger has a 2 second, I believe, and Melton Dazzle has a 1 second.
Yeah, so there you go. There was some penalties in the sprint race, which, I mean, Laney came across the line in 3rd place, ended up 5th because of those penalties. So obviously it has an effect. Oh, look at that! I can see a rev counter now as well. Thanks for that, Green Pies. I can see everything now. Yeah, it's great.
I'm really just giving you everything. But Dan has really caught up to Looty McShooty.
Yes, he's taking that time out of him for sure. So I did say Looty McShooty and Dan in the top 3, didn't I? But not quite in that order. But nevertheless, that's where Looty in first and Dan in second. I'll tell you who's hanging on quite nicely is Nick de Villa. Is hanging on quite nicely at the moment in 3rd place, but he's going to have the only G on the back of him very, very shortly. So look out for that one as it happens. So from my reckoning, we've only had a couple of pit stops so far. Melted Dazza, he had a pit stop.
You can kind of see on the map. You can kind of see on the map who's where.
Yep. So all these other guys to take their mandatory pit stop any time between now and lap 20.
Yeah, anyone from John Boy down has done their mandatory.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know if they all have, but
Cobb's,
yeah.
I think in Cobb and Amazing Fireboy's case, they've just been in the wars together.
Yeah.
As these two are... the only G is trying to get past Nick.
Nick de Villa, yeah. I said he'd catch him up pretty quickly, didn't I? And there he is. Yeah. So the only G having is Nick de Villa got... He pulled over a bit quickly there. Yeah, just kind of let the only G go a little bit. Is he, not bothered? Does he feel that he's not...
did he know that the only G is faster than him? Like, look at those lap time differences. The only G did a 1:47. Nick is only doing 1:49s.
Yeah.
No point in slowing it down.
Yeah, it depends how hard you want to fight your position, I suppose, isn't it? Maybe Nick's playing a more strategy game and knows he's not really in a fight with the only G, so just let him go, But or maybe it was a slowdown. Again, we don't have the information to hand if he was doing a slowdown at that time, So, so top three: Looty McShooty, Unorthodox, and the only G. I'm sure that's what I said, but in a slightly different order.
Yeah, well, I'm just after seeing a comment here from The Wall, I believe, and he was asking if the damage is just visual, and I am very sure
it is.
Visual,
it is just visual. So no structural damage or suspension damage or engine damage. Don't run any of those.
There'd be a few wheels all over the place if we had actual damage on with these guys.
Oh, absolutely! There'd be bits of Clio everywhere. It looked like a Clio scrapyard if we had damage on. But
it really would.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go out there cleaning that mess up, because that would be quite a mess with these guys rubbing and racing.
Yeah. Oh, the wall! You really must pay attention. Really. The mandatory pit stop. You have to change time. No, you don't have to do anything. Wall. The mandatory pit stop. All you have to do is go in and take your pit stop. They can fuel if they want to, and they can change tyres if they want to. But and the Wall is a guy who races as well. I believe I've seen him here, there, and everywhere racing. So he will know. But I'll tell the rest of the viewers, any kind of pit stop action as we see. Who's that gone into the pits now? Is that us, Cobb? Yeah. Any of the pit stop stuff you do here with project cars, as we said before, the mechanics are useless. They are absolutely terrible. If they...
Unorthodox is right on the back of Looty McShooty.
He's in front of Looty McShooty. Yeah, Looty's slowed right down. Looty's about to be taken by G as well. It looks like he backed off Green Pies, because he was really slow when we cut to him, wasn't he?
Very, very slow.
Look at I love this camera angle. Yeah. Look at the back end just kicking out on that. That's looks like G's going to try and take him down the inside. I think Looty had a major slowdown there, didn't want to take a penalty, and now just lost another position to the only G. So the only G moves up into second place. He's now going to be wanting to hunt down Dan for that first place. Neither of these guys taking the pit stop. Just to finish off what I was saying about the pit stops, the mechanics are not very efficient on this game. A fuel stop or a tyre stop just takes so long to do that it's just not worth it. You lose too much time, and it just isn't worth the aggro. On the other hand, if you want a headlight change, they are brilliant. Better than Halfords for a headlight change. And of course,
if you want to change your tyres, you may as well get out and do it yourself.
You might as well. Yeah, you might as well get out the car, have a cup of tea, change your tyres, eat a pasty, and then come back and drive the car for the time that the mechanics actually do it. The other thing, of course, they don't change wing mirrors because the wing mirrors are indestructible. However much damage you'll see.
They make these wing mirrors out of the same stuff that they make Captain America's shield.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely unbreakable and impregnable. You'll never see a mirror missing off these Clios because they're just, as I said, indestructible. They're like Superman's mirrors, So
like you could get rid of the entire car, but the wing mirrors will still be floating where the car should be.
Yes, absolutely. So everything else will fall off it before the mirrors, which, yeah, you know, to be fair, half these guys don't use the mirrors anyway.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
I think you'd be lucky if they actually look behind them.
Yeah. Well, they certainly don't use the mirrors on the door for this. So, look at this. Who are we watching? Laney. Oh, sideways, Laney. And who's in front of him? Delore, is that? Or Vigla? Vigla, yeah, absolutely. Who went wide. And Laney makes up another place, moves up into 6th place. Not having a fantastic race this evening is... Oh, look at this as well. This is Melted Dazza
and Kurt.
And who is it? Kurt, yep.
Yep. I'm voting for Kurt to win this one.
Yeah.
Oh, Kurt, you got this. He's going to have the inside coming up here. Yep. Will he make it, though, is the question.
Melted goes wide.
Yeah, it does not matter. Melted Dazza goes very wide.
Very wide. He's looking...
Grass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, so Kurt manages to do that one. He is... currently our best guest driver, isn't he? Out of the 3 guest drivers, not having such a good race as he did in the wet. And we watched G. Yeah,
he spun it again.
He hit that barrier. Did you see that? He hit that barrier, the indestructible barrier, the tyre wall, and it didn't move in the slightest, but G did. He got spun right round. So a mistake from G there. He was pushing very, very hard. Nick the Villa now looking interested on the back of G, but put Lucy McShooty back into 2nd place. So Lucy will be happy with that, to see the G making a mistake there. So just a little bit greedy on the curb there, and G just clouted the tyre barrier, puts it back into 3rd place. And I'll tell you, someone else will be happy with that. That'll be Dan. Dan will be happy to see that as well. So
Dan will be very happy with that. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. As he's now 3.7 seconds ahead of Lucy Matsuti, he's moved back up into 2nd place in this race. And Dan's taking his pit stop. Yes, indeed. And he's in the pits. And Nick the Villa goes through. So we should see everybody down to about John Boy go through. If John Boy gets out in front of Dan, then John Boy's been putting in some huge... Yeah, I don't know if he is. Where's Dan?
No,
Dan coming out?
Coming out of the pit lane now.
Is he going to get out in front of John Boy? Yes, he is.
Well, John Boy's only coming around the 1st corner now, but I think John Boy might undercut the only G.
He might do, yeah. John Boy having a after his pit stop. We haven't been on with him, but it looks like he's been doing the consistent lap times, because he wasn't a million miles away from Dan there, was he?
No, let's come back on to John Boy. I think that he's really pitting early. I think that's going to give him the nice undercut, especially with the only G has been making really some uncharacteristic mistakes. He's spun twice in the same chicane.
Yes, pushing hard for sure. I'm thinking that John Boy's just been, running his own race since the pit stop in clear air, just staying out of trouble and putting the lap times in. Because you're right, I think there is a chance he could certainly be bothering the only G and Nick the Villa when they do their pit stops. So we'll see how that pans out. Only 7 laps left in this race. I think everybody from Unorthodox, Dan, upwards, I think everyone's still yet to pit, if I'm right. I haven't seen Laney.
Well, I mean, he was the lead driver, and I don't think any of these guys, they're not matching his lap times that he was doing before he pitted. So I think it's safe to say that he is in the net P1 at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, so we reckon Dan's in the net lead at the moment, because everyone else has got to pit in front of them, so they're still to take the mandatory pit stop. And do that anytime between now and lap 20, or on lap 20, as long as it's not the last lap, because that doesn't work, does it? So...
no, because you need to do at least 1 lap on your tyres.
Yep, and of course, if you went across into the pit lane on the last lap, you would then be finishing the race in the pit lane, which would also be wrong, so...
Yeah, no pulling a Michael Schumacher as we're just watching another smoke.
That was a long time ago when he did that.
Yeah, well, you would remember it.
Yeah, did he? I think he took a drive-through penalty, didn't he?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Yeah, so I just got that. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
As we're watching these two fight over 10th place.
Yeah, I missed that, and then my missus is giggling next to me, and I wondered why, and then it clicked. Welcome back. Yeah, as you say, these two, who have we got? Melted Dazza and who's that Smoky Devil, isn't it? That are scrapping it out.
Let's give you your favourite camera angle.
It's a great camera angle. I do like that one.
It really is a nice. It's really great watching the F1 whenever they put on the nose camera this close to each other.
Absolutely. No, it's unfortunately watching at this camera angle is hard to see anything else going on, but it is a great camera angle as Smokey goes a little bit deep out of that chicane. Melted looking one way, looking the other. I doubt you'll go all the way. Well, you can go all the way around the outside. We've seen it done in the past. But he's going to have a look.
I don't think he's going to make it.
No. Not there as they come into Knickerbrook now. Another couple of overtaking opportunities. Excuse me, just a bit of wind. Don't worry about it, it's my age.
Yeah, you are old now.
Old now, innit? You'll get there one day, son, don't worry. None of us can beat it. None of us. Whoa, who's that getting Larry out there? That was Laney, wasn't it?
Very wide.
Yeah, getting very wide indeed. Yeah,
just giving up his position.
Yeah, just giving up that position to Vigla. Although, look, Vigla going deep into there as well. Run Laney out wide as well.
Laney going very wide again. You can see that his wee Clio has really gone through the wars there.
It certainly has. I've seen a couple of them outside McDonald's a few times, looking like that. But the only G has caught back up to Lukey, hasn't he?
He really has, and the only G, at least the front of his car, looks intact.
Yeah. Lukey's not looking too bad.
One thing that it has on the front that shouldn't be there is that Monster Energy. We are sponsored by Sonex Energy. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I believe we lost someone.
Lukey's gone deep and wide and completely lost it. He good to recover that. He was proper sideways as he exited. Did exit left out of that corner. That's put the only G up into first place. Yet to stop, so we don't know where he's going to be in relation to Dan. Has he done enough? What we like lap times, the only G doing a 1:47.6 on the last lap. Dan in the 1:49s. So
Dan has lost quite a bit of time to him.
He has, yeah. I don't know if Dan's in traffic. No, he's not. He's in clear air, isn't he? Because he's got
he's just not been able to put the times.
Yeah, so we'll see what Dan's time is as he comes across the line this time. Yeah, a 1:49.3 for Dan, so he's not flying, that's for certain sure.
Something I'm noticing, because I do like to notice on the fuel gauges, Dan's only got around about 10.8 litres of fuel, whereas John Boy, who's also pitted, has got 19 litres, so I wonder has Dan got enough fuel?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Dan's not normally one to...
drivers. Yeah, no, because he's got really low.
Dan's not usually one to misjudge the fuel, and we've only got 4 laps left to go. So, be interested to see what the usage is. These cars again are very susceptible to fuel load. If you put loads of fuel in them, then the back end is a little bit more stable, but you obviously carry that weight, and the car is slower. So, I think Dan will probably be okay on that, but we did have a couple of guys run out of fuel in tier 2, didn't you?
Yeah, we had. I can't remember who it was. He ran out of fuel right on the very last part of the track.
Who was that? I feel like it should. Foul Guest? Was it Foul somebody or other?
I think it might have, yeah, Foul Guest. I think it might have been him. I genuinely don't remember, but he lost. He went from 8th place to I think 11th because he'd already lapped a few people. Including
G's in the pits.
G comes in to make a stop.
Right, this will be interesting.
Dan.
Yeah.
Let's ride on with Dan, see if he can make it. We'll ride on his. We'll sit on his roof.
sit
See
on
if
his
he can
roof.
make it out in time.
Yeah, I don't know. He's quite well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
The build up.
Yes, indeed. So where's G? Come down through the wall, and I can't see G. Yes, look, there's G. He's going to get him. He's out in front.
Close.
That was very close, I think.
That was extremely close. And now John Boy, I told you, John Boy was going to undercut the Only G, and he has done it. But
he did, indeed.
On the back of Dan.
Yeah, you're quite right. So John Boy been having a flyer quietly while we haven't been watching him. He's been putting the hammer down and putting the lap times down. So Lucy McShooty's winning this one at the moment, but the net leader here is Dan after his pit stop. But John Boy is not giving up on winning this race at all. He's looking very, very racy. And in a minute or two, the Only G will be joining this battle for sure. So we're going to have...
Yeah, the Only G is going to have very fresh tyres compared to these two.
No tyre changes. Green pies.
Oh, yeah, wait, no. Never mind then.
Yeah, never mind. Scrap that. Rewind. Rewind.
I was wrong. They don't change the tyres.
I think if you just don't mention it again, I don't think nobody noticed. So don't worry about it too much. So I think we're gonna have a three-way scrap for this win. Green pies. It's going to be 3 laps of these guys fighting out. Just.
Where did the Only G go?
I don't know. Maybe a bit of a slowdown because he's just dropped off these guys again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know.
Dan is probably hoping that John Boy, with his raciness, is able to defend off the Only G just long enough so that Dan can take the win. I told you Dan was going to get the win, so Dan is going to win. I'm saying it now.
Well, I'm perfectly happy with that outcome. Green Pie's not got a problem with that in the slightest. But I think John Boy might have something to say about it, and he's certainly trying to have something to say about it as he's all over the back of Dan in these closing laps. The Only G has got a penalty as well, mind. So not only has he got to get in front of these guys, he's also got to pull a gap from them if he wants to win this race. And he's got a 1 second. Yeah, so it's not huge, but he's still got to get up past them and pull a second in front if he wants to win this one. But there's a strong chance of him being on the podium. We'll see where Luty McShooty is when he finally takes his pit stop, but I don't think he's going to come out in front of these guys. Oh, John Boy getting right up on the curb there. I had to back out of that one a little bit, he did, because he was all up on the curb and going sideways. As we see, we're on board with the G, chasing these two down. These are the net leaders, because Nick de Villa and Luty McShooty still haven't taken their pit stops yet. So you're looking at the race for the lead. 2 laps to go.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think that Luty McShooty's just overcut them all, because whenever the Only G came in, he had a 20-second lead to Dan, and Dan just about came ahead of him. Now, I think Luty McShooty might be able to come out ahead of the Only G and John Boy.
Okay, well, that's an interesting prediction, and I'm not going to disagree with it, because we're going to find out now. Luty McShooty comes into the pits now. He's not going to do tyres, he's not going to do fuel, so we'll back on unorthodox. He's coming round the last corner, and he's got John Boy here. And he's got the Only G, very, very close company. I think they've got it done, you know. Where's Luty? Luty's coming down the pit straight. They've got it done, you know. All 3 of them, Yeah, I think Luty had a bit of a spin, didn't he, earlier on, which probably cost him the opportunity to be in with this battle. But I mean, another good race from Luty. But just off the back of these two, as we go into, we're lap 20 of 21, and Dan's still managing.
Be a great last lap, I think.
It's in it. Dan's all over the shop, trying to defend, keep these guys behind. The Only G, John Boy's the one with the pressure, isn't he? He's trying to attack Dan and not get pressured by the Only G, who's right on the back of him. And Dan under great pressure now as they come back up to the chicane, and John Boy having a look round the outside. And oh god, this is going to be tense, isn't it? Yeah.
We need a silent extended drink right now to keep us energized.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I've gone from sitting down to standing up. That's how incredibly tense it is. And I've got a little bit of cramp. But exciting racing as they come round. We've got that's who we on with only G, getting very up close and personal with John Boy there. Just giving him a little touch on the body there, and as you can see, Dan right there. Look at this camera. Oh, G's going down the inside, down the inside. It's going to put one.
Ooh, this is such tight.
Look, John Boy goes wide. He's on the grass, but he's managed to stay with the momentum going forward. Is he going to have a slowdown for that one?
Oh, I hope not. That's going to really ruin his time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
he's going up the inside line.
Yes, indeed. Look at these three. They can hardly be separated by a fag paper. They're so close as we're into the final lap. It's going to be a photo finish on this one. The only G isn't done yet. Dan's defending for his life. John Boy's still in there, and it's going to be a cracking lap. Don't go anywhere. G's half on the grass.
The only G still has a 1 second time penalty. We need to remember
he does.
The only G
does. No, and Dan's gone out wide. Dan's gone wide, and he's wide at Cascades, but he's managed to put it back on track, and now the only G has got to put a second if he wants to win this race from Dan. So Dan has got to stay, isn't it? Dan's got to stay within a second, and the only G's got to drive for his absolute life, and Daniel's still got John Boy breathing down his neck as well. What a race this is turning into, and just half a lap left as they come through the chicane for the last time. Dan extremely close. If the wind mirrors were broken, he would have broken one, but they're not, and they aren't. As he comes down to the next one, John Boy still, and Lucy Mashuti, look, now is beginning to get on the back of this as well. So Dan has got
he's pulled a second to John Boy.
Yes, he has, and G's pulled a second to John Boy and 3/4 of a second to Dan. At the moment, Dan's still going to win this race, but we'll see when they go across the line. So it's the only G. Dan is absolutely side by side with John Boy, but Dan's got the inside line as they go around that corner, and the only G is going to come over and win this one on track. And he's just a second and a bit in front of Dan. Dan needs just a little bit of a tenth. John Boy's gone backwards behind Lucy, now behind Lucy Matshuti, but it's going to come across the line. It's going to be the only G. Is he going to win it?
He's going to win it.
He's going to do it, you know. He's going to do it. He's going to take the win.
No,
he doesn't. No, he doesn't take the win. Look, 1 second. 1 second. That was... That was some great races. So what happened there?
That was intense. Let's see
Let's look at...
The only G had 2 seconds of time.
2 seconds. That's what it was. That's why he jumped back, because he had it by a second and a half. We jumped back to the action there. There we go. Right, so... Just to recap, Unorthodox, Dan was the winner with a time penalty for the only G. That dropped him back into second place after such a stunning drive. John Boy, again, cracking good drive, manages to hold on for third place. Lucy Matshuti in fourth, Delore in fifth, Nick De Villa makes sixth, Vigla in seventh, Kurt in eighth, good drive from him. Melted Dazzler comes up to ninth, Smoky Devil in 10th, Amazing Pie Boy in 11th, and 12th place was Cobb. And that is your race for this evening. Wow.
I told you Dan was going to win.
Yeah. Well, so what did I say? What was my prediction? You said Dan was going to win. He did. My prediction was the only G from Dan from Luty. So yeah. So I wasn't quite right, but close.
I think I said Dan, John Boy, and Cobb.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got the sandwich at least.
Yeah. Apart from the other one being last, you were close.
Yeah, so I got because I got the very first and the very last. So I mean, I'll take it.
Absolutely, and why not? Indeed, never ever ceases to amaze is the Renault Clio Cup. We are back next week for the final round of the season at Silverstone National. I'm hoping everyone will join us for that. Hello, Nicky's in the chat. Where have you been all evening? Nicky for Prolapse. Yeah, Prolapse win there for Dan. Okay, just to Green Pies. Any final words? What things you want to say? Driver of the day for you? Any of that?
Driver of the day. I'm gonna have to give it to Dan. I'm gonna have to give it to Dan for that one. That was some great driving from him. Just about getting first place with the only G's time penalties. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. I need to Silent X energy drink.
Absolutely. So yes, indeed. Let's cover all that stuff, shall we? Silent X Energy are sponsors for the Clio Cup. Check out their website. They're plant-based energy drink. If you get a code from Motive, which I think may be Motive 1, original kind of code, and I think you can get up to 15% discount on Silent X Energy, so please do check that out. If you haven't put a like, please do a like and subscribe to the channel. Go and have a look on Motive's website, motiveracing.com. Sign up to, as I said, subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. We've had some cracking good racing here this evening. I'd like to say thank you to all the guys at Motive who put this event on, and loads of events through the week. I'm back commentating on Sunday night for the British Touring Cars at, where are we at? I can actually tell you that, at Silverstone National as well. That's on Sunday night. Thank you very much, Green Pies.
Thank you, Kelly. That was probably one of the best races I've ever commentated on.
Oh, mate, the Clios are always good. So I'll look forward to you being in the commentary box again next week. And
you'll probably see me again next week, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your company, ladies and gentlemen out there. Thank you for your company from me, from Green Pies, and all the guys here at Motive. Have a great evening. Thank you and good night. That was a good race, G. Yeah, we saw them.
Yeah, we caught them both on camera.
I don't know how I caught up again. I don't know how.
No, it was.
When did you get that second time penalty?
It was a bullshit one. It was out turn 1. I kind of lost it on the curb.
Yeah.
Got on the grass.
Cool.
The first one I had, right, I slowed down, and there was a massive gap between them two, and I still got the penalty.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? We were, of course, we were cheering you on at the end because you had that. We thought you had a 1 second penalty, not the 2 seconds. So you gapped Dan by like 1.1 seconds as you went over the line, you know? And it's like, he's done it. He's done enough to beat Dan, and then you hadn't. So it was obvious that it was there was a 2 second penalty, but so close, so close.
Thank fuck. That's done.
So aggressive that last lap, man.
I know you were.
Dan, I said.
And the first lap.
I said you were going to win, and you won.
You nearly cursed me.
You two in the first lap as well, bouncing over the chicanes like crazy fools. You go back and watch the stream, your first lap. You, Dan and G, your first laps, man. You bouncing over the curbs.
I was not going to let him have this one easy. I was not going to let him have it easy.
We didn't let him have it at all in the end.
Yeah, Dan, whenever you went off on the last lap, I was like, no, you cannot bin it now.
But luckily, John Boy had his slowdown on the last lap, and I was like, okay, it's still doable. And then G's penalty popped up. I was like, yes! Just stick with him now. Just stick with him, and I managed to do so. But,
if it was a 1 second, Dan, he would have got you because it was like 1.1 and 1.2 over the line.
I saw the 2 seconds. I thought this is still doable. G was lapping like 2 seconds of that faster than me. As long as I just get my chicanes perfect. Chicanes, I was quick. That's my quickest sector. Everywhere else, I was fucking awful. I was just shit everywhere else. But I got lucky that G. Did you clip a chicane? Did you hit something?
Yeah, he hit the tyre barrier.
Yeah, and spun.
The unstoppable tyre barrier.
At the start, I tried to back out when we were side by side with the chicane and I hit the grass.
Yeah. I saw I thought I gave you space. We had a little rub, and I was like,
my back right tyre hit the grass.
yeah.
Both of your spins were there, weren't they? In the same chicane. Yeah.
They were,
One side of the barrier, one the other side.
Luti hit another barrier. That's what allowed me to take the race lead. And then I got a slowdown into the near end of the sector, and then I was like, right, pit stop. Instead of wasting time trying to do the slowdown, I'll just do the pit.
Yeah.
Which kept my gap close enough to G and Luti. And I knew G had to catch Luti, then pass him, and then gap him to gap me.
Yeah. I tell you who drove.
Luti fights hard.
I tell you who drove really well was John Boy, because John Boy pitted early, and he'd made a mistake. He pitted early, and we just kind of ignored him for about, I don't know, 5-6 laps, and then all of a sudden,
he was in the back of my mind.
Yeah, well, he came back out really close then. Do you know what I mean? You know, he was putting in some stunning. Oh, he was about 2 seconds a lap quicker than your lap times, Dan. Before you know you pitted, like, you know.
I knew if I stayed out too long, Luti and G would catch me, and then I'd be fighting with them for position. So I was like, I need to come in soon, and I need to be aware of what John Boy does. And as soon as I came out the pits, there was John Boy, and I was just like, oh, okay, I cleared one. Now I need to make sure I stay close enough for the pit window for when the other two came in. And G literally came out just behind John Boy, and I thought, oh my god,
we were watching it.
Solid 5 laps.
Whatever it was. I think it was 5 laps to the end, and G, you were gapped back from John Boy, I don't know, a second or so, right? And I'm like, not only has G got to catch these two, he's got to pass them and put a second. And I'm like, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, man, that's a step quite high, that is. And anyway, yeah, you managed it, you know.
Yeah.
By the end, I had G, John Boy, and Luti, and I literally was just shitting it.
Yeah.
These three all behind me, the top guys in this class, and I'm like, how the fuck am I going to keep all 3 of them behind me for 3 laps?
Well, all meeting, you 4 have been like the class of this meeting. Do you know what I mean? John Boy, Luti, you and you 2 guys have been the 4 quickest. No one else has really, Delore and Laney. I don't know what kind of night Laney's been having. Do you know what I mean? But
you got disconnected.
They were off like every other lap nearly.
Oh, Laney was having a terrible race. But
yeah, I don't know what happened to Laney, but I knew that I couldn't let the leaders disappear. If I'd let them disappear, or even got like a moment to gap me, I wouldn't see him. No. So I think I made a beauty of a move on Nick DeVilla. I just threw it down the inside.
Oh, I caught that. That was caught on stream.
I just launched it, and I hear Nick just go, "How the fuck did you stop that?"
Well, not the chicane.
No, last corner. I just saw it, and I just went, "Fuck it," and launched it down the inside, and it stopped. I still don't know how it stopped. Actually, I've got to ask Nick that. Hang on 2 seconds.
I'm gonna get off now. That was great, Kelly.
All right, mate. Good commentary tonight. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I want to commentate with Kelly more.
Mate, you're always welcome.
Yeah, right. Have a good night, lads.
Right on. Cheers, mate. Take care. Yeah, that was good racing, G. That. We want. I was just going to say that's how we want every race. Yeah.
Alright, 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot off, mate. I'll catch you at the next one. All right?
See you.
Right on. Take care. Bye.